I met a great couple in court today. Sharing the same workplace can be a real problem for some couples. This sticky situation was one of the big issues today's couple brought up when they came to see me.
Divorce court is now in session.
I have here with me today Lynnette Garth and Kelvin Williams. The two of you have been married only 5 months. You are here today, Ms. Garth, because you say Mr. Williams married you under false pretenses and you want to be reimbursed for the cost of the wedding because you say he's not who he said he was. So, Ms. Garth, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me why Mr. Williams is not the man he presented himself to be?
I believe I met Mr. Williams' PR rep. He did everything he was supposed to when I met him. We went out. He made nice with my children that I have, dates, you know, anything you can think of. And then about 6 months in, everything changed.
6 months into the marriage or six months into dating? Into the relationship?
Into the relationship. We had been in a relationship for 3 years. So about 6 months in is when the bottom pretty much, you know, the PR rep checked out and the real Kelvin Williams stood up.
And what was the real Kelvin Williams like?
The real Kelvin Williams is a person that I wouldn't have married. I pursued the relationship. He was unattentive at times. He didn't really show much financial responsibility. He would have mood swings. He would go from happy to agitated in a matter of seconds. He didn't do much family, you know, interaction with me and my children or any outings. I can't really tell you that he purchased me anything, so to speak, in the relationship as well.
Now that was 6 months into the dating process.
6 months.
Why didn't you kick him to the curb then?
Exactly.
That's the part I never understand.
Okay. I just believe, I think everybody deserves a second chance. It was like at the beginning. It was 6 months in. I had 3 kids. Honestly, I do understand I'm a lot to deal with. I come with this to a relationship with 3 children, period.
So your options might have been a little limited.
My options are a little bit limited.
You were trying to work with it.
I was trying to work with what I had. You feel me? Like, my kids, I don't want to take them around a lot of different people. And, you know, I'm not a dater. That's another thing. Right. I get with a guy and I stick with him. That's pretty much what I do. I'm loyal. Okay. So.
Now, Mr. Williams, she says that you changed 6 months into the dating process. Do you agree that that's what occurred?
I agree I changed, yes.
Okay, and why don't you tell me why you changed?
When I first met her, we pretty much became good friends and stuff. We didn't start off dating, we became friends at first. Right. Okay, we was getting to know each other. At some point, when you meet somebody, you don't tell them that you cheat in your previous relationships.
So you had a pattern of cheating on the women that you were with?
No, she told me that she cheated on her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
No, totally. No.
So when you tell me that, I got to keep my options open. I got to protect my heart. So we were doing good at first. Okay. We was, I had no car at the time, so I used to catch the bus to work. Okay, this particular time, I borrowed my mother's car to go to work. So I come home for lunch one day. She's down the street with some guy. I'm knocking on the door. I'm like, what you doing over here? Oh. We just over here watching TV.
Now, Ms. Garth, are you down hanging out with some guy down the street?
Absolutely not. This is the first I've ever heard this story, and I was a part of it. First of all, he couldn't come home from work on lunch. He didn't have a car. He worked in Missouri. We lived in Illinois. So when did he come home from work at lunch and caught me down the street with anybody?
I just told you I borrowed my mother's car.
You did not. That is completely false. I'm gonna tell you I can tell you how the story actually happened.
Wait, why don't you?
The guy, it was the guy down the street that, first of all, the guy was 18 or something like that. I have grown woman problems. I got 3 kids. I know an 18-year-old. No, he was 18 years old. And I have children. There is nothing an 18-year-old can do for me with 3 kids. That's first. Second, He's never come home from lunch and caught me down the street, next door, nowhere
Across
with
the
anybody.
street, oh,
Across the
across
street, or
town,
nothing.
anywhere.
The only thing, I'm here to get this situation situated, first of all, but I'm not gonna be torn to pieces. I was loyal to this man for 3 years, and you're not gonna come in here and make it seem like I cheated on you. If we mad and we want to be over with this relationship, that's fine, but don't lie. I never cheated on you.
I'm just making it up.
I never cheated on you. I was loyal to you for 3 years. Every girl you cheated on me with, I stood by you. And you'll come in here and lie?
Mr. Williams, other than you saying you're coming home one day and she was down the street with somebody.
Name something else.
Okay, name something else.
Yes.
Another incident. I'm at home. I was running late for work. Okay, I catch the bus. Okay, I missed my bus that day. So I'm sitting on the porch because I have to wait till the next bus to come. It takes 25 minutes for the next bus to come. So I'm sitting on the porch. She at the house. She don't know. She thinking I left. So I'm waiting on the next bus. All of a sudden, a black car pull up. And I'm like, wait, we just moved here. So don't nobody know we live here but me and her and my mother. So I'm like, who is this? Maybe they pulling up for the next person who used to live here. So he gets out the car. He don't see me. He gets out the car, walk up, look at me. I'm like, hey, brother, you lost or something? What you doing here? Oh, I'm Lynnette friend. I just want to let her know I'm out of jail.
Okay.
I'm like, hold up.
Ms. Garth, did you have someone who was recently released from the pokey come see you?
Okay. Absolutely not. The guy who he's saying came to see me from, as you say, the pokey, was actually not in the beginning of the relationship. We was 2 years into the relationship, and we both know why.
That was 6 months.
No, it wasn't. It was not in the first 6 months. The first 6 months.
2013.
Okay, hold on. I moved from Missouri to Illinois with him. I knew nobody else. There was no meet people, greet people, bring people over to the house. All I'm saying is this: I want to do this proceedings, but if he gonna make up stuff, that's not gonna work for me. I was loyal to this man for 3 years. I have 3 kids. My oldest is 11. I've been bouncing, and I wasn't a cheater or any of that before I met him.
And
so
you're
why
not a
all of a
cheater
sudden,
now.
right?
I
So
got
why
you.
all of a sudden am I that now? Because we're here.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
This girl was crying on his answer machine. Oh, I love you. Please don't leave me. I don't know how I know they came from my phone. I took the messages out your phone. Like, what you mean?
Were you messing with the girl? Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Ms. Garth, you say that he cheats on you, however.
Absolutely.
Why don't you explain to me what you've caught him doing?
Oh, okay. Let's get it on out of here then. The first 6 months, the first lady that I found out about, he had been corresponding back and forth with her on the phone. There were instances where women would call his phone, and I'll say hello. And they'll be like, oh, can I speak to Kelvin? I'll be like, who is this? Then they'll hang up. I got the wrong number. When I would ask him about it, he'd say, everybody know a Kelvin. How you know they calling for me? Oh, everybody knows a Kelvin with your name and your phone number. Everybody.
Everybody. You know a Kelvin?
I do now.
Thank you.
Mr. Williams, have you ever cheated on your wife?
After I kept catching her doing dirt. So to protect my heart, let's go back to the beginning when she first.
How does doing dirt back protect your heart? I don't understand that part.
Leave me alone.
If
Walk away.
If I'm getting ready to go to work, I'm late. I was supposed to be gone. Had not I been late, I would never knew he came over.
I have male friends that I go see. I have male friends that come over the house to see me. That doesn't mean you're cheating because you have male friends.
If I would have done it,
But
it
that's
would've been
not the point.
considered cheating.
Whether she would have gotten mad about it or not, it is not indicative of cheating. Do you see what I'm saying?
yes, ma'am.
Now, but you have cheated on her.
Yes, ma'am.
How often?
Once.
Ms. Garth, what do you say about that?
Okay, so there were, let's see, we worked at a mall. He and I both. We worked at a large mall, like not necessarily a small mall. Let's see, there were 2 girls. He was messing around with both of them. The girl, one of them,
How did you find out about that?
because we had a mutual friend and she was close with him. Well, she called me one day and was like, hey, if you want to know who this girl is he's talking to, come up here. She knew he was off. He didn't have to be in that day till 3. I literally told him, I said, well, guess what? I'm going to get a gallon of milk. I'll be back. I got to go. But I went to the mall, like the young lady who called me and instructed me to come and see, you know, what was going on. I get up there, I'm walking around, you know, I'm trying to talk to people, see what's going on. I talked to one of the young ladies that works in one of the stores. She was like, well, I see him walking around. I'm like, oh, really? I just said, oh, right. So I finished my conversation with her. Then as I walk around, I notice it's a lady following me around the mall. So I'm looking and I'm like, who is she? So then it clicked to me. I got by her, called her phone, because I'm calling this number. This number was in his phone. I'm calling the phone. She didn't even have sense enough to cut the ringer off. I walked right by her and I called the number and her phone
Phone
rang.
started to ring.
Yeah, but she's standing there with someone, another associate of his that he knows. So it's like, he swear he didn't do anything and this is that and the other. This girl was crying on his answer machine. Oh, I love you. Please don't leave me. All of this. And I'm sitting here like, I said, well, she on the answer machine crying. I don't know how I know that came from my phone. I took the messages out your phone. Like, what you mean?
Were you messing with the girl?
She talking about a totally different girl.
Yeah, I know, too.
Were you messing with the girl?
That's the one I cheated on her with. Yes.
He told me on Thanksgiving he had to work a double. He went to work. I assumed it. He ate at my home, he left, he went to work. He said he was working a double. Okay, well, the girl's on your answer machine. Hey, babe, where you at? I'm waiting on you to pick me up. Not only that, the guy he was supposed to work with that night couldn't wait to call me and tell me. People told on him. That's the part of the issue he keeps
The
forgetting.
girls was just friends. I ain't had
Okay,
no
but you
relationship
took it
with
to
them.
your mama's house while she was out of town.
Mr. Williams, you are so caught. You know what I mean? You're just so caught. You are Mr. Williams' mother.
Yes, I am.
What do you see in their relationship? Do you think he's fooling around on her?
Most likely.
If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Now, Mr. Williams and Ms. Garth, I have a witness here. She is your mother, and she's going to tell us what she believes occurred during the course of this relationship.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing just well. Mrs. Walker,
Yes.
you are Mr. Williams' mother.
Yes, I am.
What do you see in their relationship? Do you think he's fooling around on her?
Most likely.
Why do you believe that, Mrs. Walker?
From past history and what Lynn had told me, I mean, you know, I can't prove it, but from past history of girlfriends, it's possible. I mean, I can't swear to it, but it's possible.
What do you think about Ms. Garth? Do you think she's a good wife to your son?
I think she would have been a good wife. They both just needed a little more time, that's all. She's a good girl. I like Lynn. I mean, I think she could have been a good wife. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Walker. I do appreciate your help. Is there anything else you want to say, either to him or her? Or are you just done?
Not unless you ask me.
Do you have any advice for Ms. Garth?
Well, she didn't take my advice in the past, so
So what was your advice in the past?
let him go.
Ms. Walker, thank you so much.
Now, can we start over? Can we get it together for real now?
Now
Your Honor.
you know your stuff is sorry and sad
Honor.
when your own mama talks trash on you.
She, in the beginning, she let it be known that she was a cheater. So
Never happened.
I had no choice
How?
to
I
take
got
her
three
seriously.
kids.
Mr. Williams,
How?
Mr. Williams, you didn't pay attention to what your mother said.
Thank
Your
you.
mother said from your past
She
experience,
said no
you
proof.
are a cheater.
She said possible. She said
No,
proof.
but from the past relationships, she knows that you run around on your women. She told on you. And your mother is always the last one to tell. So if she said it, you know it's true.
Absolutely.
And she told her to bounce.
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
A long time ago. She
When
said,
when
I
a
should've
man's
left.
mother tells you to bounce,
I should've.
that's really good information.
You're right.
You should listen when something that like happens. Why don't you tell me about the first breakup?
Okay. His father had passed, so I was helping, do
Helping
everything.
out, yeah,
I'm
sure.
helping doing everything. Like I said, just moved, just got my car, helping his mom. We're cleaning out the house. She's doing a yard sale, so he gets off work at 11. So I'm at the house. I let him take the car to work. I called him. It was 10:30. I say, pick me up from your mom's house. I'm still down at your mom's. I know he get off at 11, so I'm giving him the head up, 30 minutes. Okay, he gets off at 11. 11 passes. I spoke to this man on the phone, first of all. Let me make that clear. And he said, I'll be there when I get off. I called him, no answer. This was at 11:30. 11:45, I called again, no answer. 12, no answer. Finally, his mom said, I'm gonna take y'all home. Now, she sees me calling him, and she literally looked at me and said, don't dial that number again. He ain't answered in 2 hours. He not gonna answer at all, so just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
I'm gonna take you home. She takes me home. Needless to say, 2:30, 3 o'clock is when my car and him showed up. I called the police, and I'm like, I'm gonna report my car stolen because I don't know where he's at. He's not answering the phone. Nothing. Not a single response. When I talked to the police officer, at first he said, I can't babysit you in this situation. I got stuff really to do. But when he came back from around, because our town is kind of small, he said, I did just see that car, because I gave him the description of my car. I told him what kind of car it was, the color and everything. He said, but it was coming out, from down the way. He finally calls me. I'm like, okay, so I'm irate, of course. So where you at? Oh, I just left work. I'll be there in a minute. Okay, he pulled up to the house in 5 minutes. We worked 30, 40 minutes, 30 minutes away. How you pull up in 5?
Your response to that story, briefly, Mr. Williams. What do you have to say?
I left work, went to the bar with my coworkers. That's what we do.
Okay.
Left work.
But were you truthful about it? Said, hey, babe, I'm going to here, so she wouldn't have to wait on you?
Not that particular night, because that was the previous week when old dude pulled up.
No, it wasn't. This was a whole nother year. This ain't even in the same
I got you. In divorce court, couples tell me everything about their relationships. Want to share your experience? Join the conversation on our Twitter page at Divorce Court. On Facebook, check out other fans and their intimate issues. You know everybody has something to say about love. What's on your mind? Ms. Garth, I believe everything you told me. And you want $1,500 for him for half of cost of the wedding that you paid for completely, because you say he married you under false pretenses.
Absolutely.
Now, false pretenses is something very different. If he represented he was, a guy, and you got married and you found out he was really a girl, that's false pretenses. But he's just ordinary, average, run-of-the-mill, tacky and wrong. And you can't get your wedding money back because you married an ordinary, average, pedantic, wrong dude. He was just a bad guy. I wish I could give you some money just for your pain and suffering because he was just all wrong and tacky. I can't, but I wish you could because you seem like a nice lady. But next time my mama tells you to run, that's exactly what you ought to do, Mr. Williams. You sad, wrong, tacky, and tired. You're gonna do 90 million different wrong things and blame it on something that somebody pulled up in front of the house one year. You were together for a long time. You were tacky for a long time. You were wrong for a long time. I think you will continue to be wrong for a long time. All I am is happy that you won't be wrong with her. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered. Lynnette learned her lesson the hard way. Before you marry somebody, check them out. When a man's own mother tells you to bounce, that's really good information. Listen to her. She knows what she's talking about. Submit your case at divorcecourt.com.